the administration worked with the governors, we might be talking about an entirely different.
Had the administration worked with the governors, had the governors worked with the administration, we might not be in this position. I don't know about in your state, which I think is a crazy state to begin with, and I mean
Chairman,
that just as I said it.
Mr. Chairman.
Some of the policies. Mr. Burgess doesn't have the time, Madam Chair.
But
I have the time. Excuse me, Madam Chair, I didn't interrupt him. I reclaimed my time, and I think that that is the procedure here in this body.
But Madam
The
Chairman,
chair
the gentleman made
asked-
a very defamatory statement about my state, and I will not stand here and listen to it.
Well, fine, then you don't have to listen. You can leave if you choose. I told you what I think about Texas. I wouldn't live there for all the tea in China, and that's how I feel. Now, for all intents and purposes, I know what my state did, which is in many respects coming close to being just as crazy, and that is they did not expand Medicaid.
We don't have a parliamentarian here to give us notes on what to say when people may not be saying exactly the right things. But we owe to our colleagues, especially our colleagues on this committee, a great deal of civility.
There is no reason at all to impugn the people, the governor of a state of this country, and I will await the gentleman's apology, and I yield back.
You will wait until hell freezes over.
The gentleman,
For me to say anything in an apology. I would apologize to you if I was directing my comments to you. I was commenting about the state that you
Madam Chair,
happen to be a
reclaiming-
resident
The
I
of.
believe the gentleman
So
from
I
Texas
will not
controls-
apologize.
Gentleman from Texas.
The best for the warfighter in the most economic way possible, the most efficient and least bureaucratic way forward to get into the warfighter's hand what they need. And like I said, the third ID still had their operational need statement turned down. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
May we respond, or? I think I heard a question.
Mr. Secretary.
Well, I don't want to respond if the gentleman's going to leave. So. Would you care to hear a brief response?
Mr. Secretary, we've been talking about this for about a year and a half, and this 20-day-old email where the third ID still doesn't have reach back to the off-the-shelf system, we can talk all we want to. It's not seeming, it's not going anywhere. So I'm happy to stay here and hear a response.
First off, I object to this. I'm tired of somebody telling me I don't care about our soldiers and we don't respond.
General,
Everybody on my staff cares about it, and they do all they can to help. So if you want to bring up an anecdotal incident, let's sit down, talk about it, we'll give it a response. My guess, if I go back to my staff, they'll tell you, in fact, was responded to, and they'll tell you they don't need it, or they said they've since not requested it, said they don't need it anymore. We've been going back and forth with this for months, and I'm tired of the anecdotal incidents.
If you don't mind,
hold on a second.
you have
Let me
a
answer.
very powerful personality, but that doesn't refute the facts that you have gaps in the capability in the
We have
that the
more
Army is
capability
utilizing.
today in our intelligence than we've ever had. When I was a division commander in 2003, a company commander today with D6A has 20 times the capability I had as a division commander in 2003. Our intel organization has moved forward greatly. And let me go back to this. Careful about the statistics here. Okay? So I want to have a conversation about this. And I want you to get briefed on D6A. D6A is much more than what we're talking about here is link analysis and visualization. It is a capability that allows us to link intelligence from the national level all the way down
General,
to the theater level, to the individual level.
I understand.
And I could go to 30 places that tell me it's working tremendously.
Right.
Is it perfect? No. Will we have iterative processes that can inject more technology?
General,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
And I want to work with you on that as we go forward.
If you don't let me say anything, then we can't have a conversation.
Well, you weren't going to let us say anything.
Well, you're right, but I had that prerogative when I'm sitting up here.
Well, I have a prerogative too, and that's to answer a question or an accusation when it's made.